Welcome back everyone to our Thoughts Spawn video about the channeling video that we just, the channeling on channeling that we just recorded. And yes,
I will be the questioner.
you,
So Leo, how do you feel first after this transmission?
there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of life flowing through me, and yes, it just reminded me again of it's a process. We have to, it's a practice, it's like an exercise, an art. We have to keep on doing it, keep on. And in that we develop more and more strength, more and more capacity to channel. And yes, for me, what Ashtar said at the very end, and while they were saying it about I could hear Ra, I could sense Ra being like, yes, this is also what we wanted to say. Yes, yes, yes. And it was about that what is the goal of our higher guides and higher selves that we are channeling through? It is so that we become, overjoyed. We channel life in so joyfully, so magnificently, so radiantly that we don't experience this separation that many of us experience, that we are so imbued with love, light, and life that we understand that, wow, I am truly a channeler of life itself, of this, what can be called the greatest mystery of all, what the source of life. I am a channeler of that. And all of our higher guides and higher selves are really, they are helping us to understand that so we don't feel like we're removed or uh, degrees of separation that we must go through middlemen. They're all us and they're trying to help us understand this, I feel.
As to me, I also felt it was a lot of energies. It's like if the more we channel or the more videos that we are making, then the more and more and more energies come through, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of energies. Again, I feel it quite in the heart area. Uh, I managed to open my eyes and to see you. And when I was watching you, I was switching between me, Caroline, but most of the time I managed to incarnate or to channel Ra while watching at you. So I didn't lose track as I used to before, meaning that before, if I was looking at you, in fact, I would be me, Caroline, and I would have to re-enter the channeling state in order then to come back to the message. So again, yeah, as you say, this is, and as they say, this is a process, and we are improving our skills more and more. So Leo, is there a topic that caught your attention?
Yes, the goals and the following through. This has been a big theme, as I'm sure for everyone really listening, about the pursuing of goals and how can we best achieve our goals? Are some goals superficial? Are some goals wrong and bad? And the more and more I'm understanding that in truth, yes, there are no bad goals, there are no wrong goals, there are no evil goals. However, there are goals that allow us to experience more love, light, and life, and there are goals that close us down and create more of this experience of separation and forcing and create more of this experience of bad and evil and wrongness. And so while in truth there is none of that, there are thoughts and goals that can create those experiences. And so of course our higher guides themselves wish for us to experience more radiance, more freedom, more love and light and joy in this way. And so they of course are guiding us towards having these larger goals at hand. In other words, how can we best serve ourselves and others? How can we best experience joy with all? And there are there are steps involved in that. There's not just what I'm learning is that it's not something, while it's important to have that goal in mind that, okay, I wish to I wish to harmonize and experience joy with all. Yes, this is great. This is important to have in mind. However, if our body has a goal of I wish to be more beautiful, I wish to be more abundant and rich, this isn't necessarily out of alignment. In other words, we can have these seeming superficial goals and still pursue them in a way that is in alignment with this higher goal. And if we don't know how to do that, I think it's important that that's when we sit in silence, we open to the guidance and allowance, and in that we will receive the help that we desire. And this is something that I've been working with for quite a while now, and I think um I think I'm getting it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the way they explained the process of channeling and all the different steps that it comes with resting in silence or meditation, and then to be open and be open to receive, and that we can, it's like dialing a phone number and having somebody on the phone, then we can choose the beings or the collectives that we want to talk to or have a conversation with. But I Ashtar was quite very serious about this notion. Was quite serious, in fact, about the whole channeling. But he was quite very yeah, serious about this idea of respect for the other beings, meaning that yes, we can always have a conversation with the beings of love and light, uh, but we have to be in a certain mood and to be respectful for the other beings, meaning that we shouldn't take it as a game, or we shouldn't take it as, okay, I want to make fun of, or he was very serious about this. And this is not the first time that Ashtar says something like this, even in private channeling, that when we contact beings of outer space, um, then our intent has to be also very clear, and that we are also very respectful for the beings or the being that we will and we want to channel. And I also enjoyed what Ashtar said about the relationship, that we can also perceive it not as a simple one communication thing, but most as okay, I will make a friend. I will make a friend, but the particularity of the friend is that he lives in or she lives in another galaxy. But this is a something that we have to nurture, to nourish, and this is not a one-time thing and then we step away and we do something else and we forget forever. It's okay, I want to reach out to this collective. I will involve myself in this relationship and try to make it grow and try to learn from this collective, and it will be an ongoing thing. It will be a relationship that we have to care for. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
I also enjoyed what Ashtar said about the physical part. You know, that we have also to train. It's right that when we speak about channeling or channelers, we most of the time can have some ideas, limited beliefs or beliefs that there would be people who are too much connected with different things but not grounded, and they emphasize the point that the channelers have to be grounded and they have a normal life, and that we also must develop our physical strength in order to handle more. So channeling is not just about, okay, I channel other beings. It also comes with preparation and also with the strength and with our bodies being involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely feel that way too. And um yeah, whether it's in this when I started practicing channeling, vocal channeling, or before that when I was just doing um sort of energy work and just channeling the energies. Yes, there's a difference between exercising and not exercising. In the past, I didn't really exercise. I didn't really get the physical body involved that much, and this is something, of course, that I'm being guided more and more to hone in on. And my capacities are have increased so much. Even just recently, just doing exercises routinely and getting the moving the body, getting the body involved, whether it's yes, there are many ways to do it. And so I think that's really important. And I think a way to look at it is that we're we're grounding in we're grounding in more love and light into the physical. So it makes sense that our bodies must be rooted, must be strong physically. And that as well is something that I'm understanding more because I still am, but I used to be extremely heady, really just floating on the clouds, floating up in the stars. And I just used to think, well, I'm God incarnate, and we all are God. We are fractal of God, and we're so all things are thoughts I can just create with my mind. And but learning more and more that the physical is a part of our mind. The physical is a part of our thoughts. They are crystallized forms of many thoughts that have coalesced and created form. And I'm learning this more and more.
What I enjoyed also, but it was more not a joke, but they were more playing with me or making fun of me a little bit,
Hmm.
is when Ashtar spoke about the
Oh
cookies, you
yeah.
know? And and I was there, you know, when I was channeling that, I was like, okay, so they are making making sweet. But in fact, that's true. Each time we co-channel Leo, each time I already know that we are going to channel uh, at noon, because at noon for lunch, it's like if I am very guided to eat very healthy food, to pay very close attention to what I am eating.
Mhm.
And after we channel, uh, so for the other meal that I will have, I know that most of the time I can eat whatever I want. It's like a reward for all the work and all the energies, etc. So they were making fun, but in fact they are right, meaning that yeah, I will probably very probably have a very dense food later. But yes, it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, when I said when they were talking about that and they said that we're cookie, I immediately thought, oh, the video on the cookies and I think yeah, me too. I've been guided to eat the denser foods and kind of experiment with that and of course a big part of my experimenting was to not feel guilty or to judge it bad or negatively. Because that's really what I'm finding is what we need to work with, work through, shift the 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 judgments, the negative, the thoughts and beliefs that limit, create experiences of limitation. This is the main habit we need to shift. And if we work on that, everything else is downstream, so it all shifts as well. So in that, it was, I would say a few months process where I was actively, consciously understanding, okay, this is probably, if I eat this pizza this is probably going to have a heaviness effect on my body. However, I'm going to still experiment with this and see how it unfolds. And what I've found is that because I'm learning not to judge it, yes, there's a heaviness involved, but it doesn't feel negative. It doesn't feel bad. It's just a different experience. But what I'm also learning, and my body is really learning as well, is that it prefers the lightness. It doesn't really prefer to stay heavy for too long. And again, this reminds me of what they're saying. It's a process. It's not black and white. It's a process. And so to have that goal in mind of, whether it's I want to be a powerful channeler or um, I want to create abundance in the form of money so that I may uplift all, whether whatever that goal may be that we create for ourselves, to understand that it's a process and that it's not like it's not really just a straight line. It's a ebb and flow to get there.
I think we have both been guided to try having dense food and observe the effect that it would have on our body and also on our channeling. And what I noticed is that yes, if I eat too much dense food for days, for instance, before a channeling, it will be more complicated for me to be able to channel. I will be able to channel, but it will come through less easily. And so not only my body prefers yes when I eat light foods, but also the channeling is way much more easier when I consume light foods as well before channeling.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. And and yes, I think it is because we're just, the way they spoke of Ra and Ashtar spoke of in the past, the idea of quantity and quality of the energy that we're interacting with. And there are, yes, in this practical world, there are certain forms of energy, whether it's food or there's certain forms of thought, whether it's food or, entertainment or whatever it may be, other individuals we interact with, that it's easier to maintain a lighter, higher, vibrant state than others. And I think what I was really guided to was to indulge in these heavier things so that I teach myself not to judge them negatively. And so that when I do come across other beings that may be vibrating more unstably, let's say, that I don't judge that and I don't push them away, but I see them for who they truly are, the love and the light that is that is has just been contorted in some way through some process that's now unfolding in a lighter way. And so I think this was really critical for me in my journey to so that I don't judge in a negative way in that way. And but now I am seeing that my body, I want to eat more lighter foods. It's just more attracted to it. And it sees like, okay, yeah, I could eat that. There's nothing wrong with that, but I want to stay lighter, so I'm going to consume the raw fruits, vegetables, and right now I'm guided to eat. I still eat bread and these sorts of things, but and there's nothing wrong with that, I feel, but um, I feel even that now is maybe uh, that's the layer I'm working with to maybe shift that or experiment more with that. That's at least what I'm being guided to.
Yeah, and I enjoyed what you were saying and what Ra said about food and to pay close attention on how it has been made or how it was made.
Hmm.
And I also remember Ashtar saying quite the same thing, not for food, but for television. And that we had to pay attention to what we are watching on television because it is made, because there are many, many things, many beings, many people involved, and also lots of intents. And that some of the intents of the people making things here and there on the television are not that good. And Ashtar spoke quite a lot actually about this on other channelings, and so it was quite interesting that today Ra spoke about the same thing but for food. So it's like if we have to be more and more cautious about how things are being created or made or cultivated or produced, so that we can make a better choice or so that we can acknowledge here and there if we are fully aligned with this food or this TV show or not. But it was interesting. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and bringing back the bread example, so I've been eating sort of the heavier breads, or whether it's just even just white bread, and then the usual bread I have is this. It's like an organic, it has like sprouted seeds and nuts and things like that, and so it's definitely more high vibe. And I'm just the thought of that, of like, oh, I'm gonna eat this bread that is organic and has these more high vibe ingredients compared to just a normal loaf of white bread that, there's a different energy involved that I'm beginning to pick up on and sense. And I think that that's what they're also saying. If, make it easier for yourself. If you can sense that this is more high vibe for you, then eat that. You don't have to force yourself. And this is what I was doing in the past. I was like, well, I'm the creator. I could eat this and it won't have any effect on me. It won't have any effect. And what I'm finding is that having done that, it does have an effect on you. But you can, and yes, there will come a point in our future, you could say, when we've cultivated so much that yes, we can consume these things and we can instantly, but even then, it's like you could say kind of like we need to put in extra work, right? We have to think about that and then process that. So I'm just being guided to say, why do that? Make it easier for yourself. Eat the high vibe stuff. That's
I agree with you on the bread because I also experimented quite the same thing, meaning that now I am eating a gluten-free organic bread, and I tried to buy quite the same, not organic but gluten-free at the supermarket. And the consistency, everything was different, and even not only the taste, but the consistency and yeah, the whole energy is just so different, and they look quite similar, but it's like if it is two different. Yeah, it makes sense. These are two different products, but it's like if I am way much more. Well, it's like if I can feel more. Yeah, I am way much more attracted by a good quality product, etc., etc. It's like if we develop a certain sensibility, not only the awareness, but also that we can sense that okay, this is something for me, or this is something high vibe, even for some bread,
Mhm.
uh, because it is easy to for fruits and veggies to sense this because yes, it is lighter, but for bread, which is supposed to be quite heavier, we managed now to, I think you and I think that many people do too, to be able to yeah to feel and sense when it is something that we can consume or something where there is something wrong here, even though we cannot explain it, but we can sense that okay, this is not that good for me, and I will change.
Yeah, I think so too.
Would you like to add a final word, Leo?
Hmm. Um, I think I think that's all the thoughts I have for now. How about yourself, Caroline?
It's all the thoughts I have too for now, so that's perfect.
Great. Well, thank you all again. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, our higher guides and higher selves, for being with us. And yes, we will. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or topics that you wish to have channelings on, then let us know. You can email us or you can write a comment. But yes,
And thank you for all of you listening to this video and to the channeling before. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, our higher guides. Thank you, all of you, for joining. I hope that it has been or it is helpful for you. And we will see each other for another video.
indeed.
Mhm. See you. Bye.